So I divided my Stella Dior Daylilies, and then I placed them all down through here, separated them, and then I have a bunch more in cups to place in other places. These are, not sure the name of it, but a neighbor of mine gave me them. They were in a greenhouse, and aphids got in them and just went crazy. And then there's some more Stella Dior Daylilies back there. And then, of course, this is my double daylily bed that I divided last year. This is my other double daylily bed that I am in the process of dividing. See, it's pretty packed. It's got white irises in front of it. They're also going to be coming out and divided. And then it goes all the way back here. As you can see, I already pulled out this section right here. This section from there just to there, I got over 600 daylilies out of it. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Hopefully I can get some friends and stuff that need them. And then I've got a bunch of them stored in there with my irises. And those were Asiatic lilies that dug up where those Stella Diors are at. My fig tree, which hasn't started sprouting yet. And then there's all my 80 tomatoes. These are some can't think of the name of them now. They're flowers. And I got some garlic that I really need to get out in the garden because it's just too hot here. A little bit of lettuce that didn't get ate up by the aphids. I got some more Stella Dior daylilies and some gladiolas that I dug up out of that bed, and then there's another thing of Stella Dior daylilies. And that right there is like a red daylily that was in pots, and I divided it up, pulled it out, and I'm going to divide it and plant it somewhere else. And then there's a couple little pots back there that's got some Stellas in it. And then this is I can't think. It's vine, cypress vine is what I think she calls it. Let's see if it comes back from last year. And then that is a I can't think of the name of that one either. It's a flower that I got from my neighbor. But that's what's in my greenhouse right now. This is my ugly garden right now. I got to get in there and clean all that out, get it all prepped and ready. I hurt my back earlier this year or last year, and it's getting kind of hard to do stuff. This is potatoes and garlic that I've already started. Potatoes hadn't come up yet, but they will. Well, actually, there's one right there coming up right now. So, yep, they're starting to come out of the ground. There's another one right there coming out. And then there's garlic and potatoes. Garlic and potatoes. These are red potatoes. And then I got to clean those out today. And then there's white potatoes and onion or garlic that I had in the greenhouse is going to come out here and be planted. And then I got my raspberry bush with garlic planted underneath it that I've been planted today. There's some more onions, actually, not garlic, onions, and more another raspberry bush. There's some more onions that I gotta finish planting. these onions were overwintered. You can see that it's got two things coming out of the bulb. So that's what happens when you overwinter an onion. Certain, the small onions, they don't want to overwinter a big one. But they will split and they will make two onions. And them things will just be absolutely enormous if you overwinter them like this. This is the only bucket that I did. They were just leftover onions that I had in my storage that I just needed to get rid of. And I still, like I said, I gotta clean up all these buckets, get all that old tomatoes and stuff out. And there was a lot of I had grown them marigolds last year, which I won't be doing this year because that was just a mess. This is old okra, and this is an asparagus that came up, and it froze. All of my asparagus came up and froze, so it'll shoot up another shoot, which I don't pick my asparagus when they're this young anyway. And then that is that's a leek. That's actually not an onion, it's a leek. And that's also a leek. So I'm going to see how those leeks do this year. Again, my asparagus right there came up and froze. So I'll wait for them to come back. Which they're only a year old, so you don't pick them anyway until they're at least 2 years old. Again, my asparagus came up and froze. Got some in there too. And then all these other pots just got asparagus and stuff in them. And these all got to get cleaned out. I got to redo my deer netting because I left the front of the garden open. And a deer were coming in here and they were laying down in this grass during the wintertime, letting these tubs block the wind and stuff. I guess my neighbor's dog must have scared it or something. Well, it went and busted through this side of the net and got all tangled up in it and just tore it to pieces. So I have another one in the house. I have to redo all that. All this has got to get cleaned up and redone. And then again, I had some asparagus in here. See, this asparagus died. That's got to get redone and cleaned out. A lot of work, but I'll start on it. Again, another asparagus died on me. Normally I already have my greens and stuff out, but I had gotten aphids in my greenhouse and they just totally destroyed my greens. I've never had issues with aphids in my greenhouse. I don't know exactly why I did this year, but I will try to keep a closer eye on it and treat it when I need it treated. But never had issues with aphids inside the greenhouse. This is my canna lily bed. My battery on my mower is not taking a charge anymore, so I got to get a new battery. So when I do, I'll take the lawnmower and just chew all that old foliage and stuff up. They haven't quite started coming out yet anyway, but once I chew all that stuff up, they should start coming out here in the next few days. I had irises in here, you can see growing there. Well, this spot right here with the rain, it washed that whole section out. I washed all of my irises out, and Then I have issues with armadillos eating my irises, which I've never had a problem with before. But I guess this is the first time for everything. But they had got in here and just totally rooted this whole thing up and took all my irises out. And then for some reason they didn't eat these, which is good. So I have some irises growing here at least. But most of my beds are empty, like these. This is usually the last bed to come up. It's got hostas and stuff in it, which they won't come up for another 15 days or so. And then I do have one Stella Dior. You can see it right there. And that's all that's up in this bed right now. We had a really bad ice storm, and I got limbs and stuff down there where you can see. And my back was out and stuff. I wasn't able to get out here and do it. And on top of that, my chainsaw is, I got to take it, break it down and clean it and get it running again. But I had my double daylilies that I dug out of the bed last year next to the porch. They're all coming up down through here. But my deer seem to be loving my daylilies this year. So they're really chewing. And I guess it's kind of my fault because I let my deer feeder run out of corn this month. So I got to go get them some more corn. Those are more irises, purple irises. And then my naked ladies, about half of them came up. The rest of them, you see there's a bare spots all the way down through here. But if you look way down there, how those, that's what it should look like all the way down. But I don't know if something dug those up and ate them, or they just died, or what the deal was. But could have been from the drought that we had last year. I may not have watered them enough. I put these in a couple of years ago, and you see how really thick they are right there. I did have a Rose of Sharon seedling in there, but with that drought we had last year, it died. We had a horrible drought, and I just couldn't afford to keep up with the watering of my garden and watering all my flower plants. It was busting me out, $90 to $100 a month when it's normally $30 to $40 a month. So it was just getting a little bit too expensive to water. That's my little Rose of Texas thing, and it's starting to put leaves on. More purple irises. And then as you can see, oh, wait a minute. There's my first hosta coming up right there. I guess the hostas are coming up. That's the first one I see. I don't see any of the other ones coming up yet. No. None of those coming up. But that one is. There's one there. And there's a bunch of them down through here, but none of these are coming up yet. Then more irises. Another little small Rose of Texas in there. More daylilies down through here. No more hostas coming up in there yet. That area is a little bit warmer. Gets a little bit more sun. So it's probably going to come up faster there. Oh, these are coming up. There's a couple of them coming up right there. And a couple of them coming up right there. Oh. And a lot of these other ones aren't coming up because they're the same kind. Maybe that spot must get more sun, I guess. Come up a little bit later. And as you can see, the deer have just been eating off all of my daylilies. More irises through there. Then this variety of hosta is coming up right there. Another one right there. This is my daylily that I actually bred myself, and it's came up, and deer love that thing. So I don't know. I have to figure out a way to keep the deer out of my hostas. I'm in my daylilies. And my neighbor's dog. What are you doing, Coco? Hosta coming up there. One coming up there. One right in there. More irises. You see, that's the way that it should look like that whole entire length of that bed. So I lost a bunch of naked ladies.